We have known for quite a while now that Nadine Dorries has been writing what she considers her magnum opus, the book that is going to completely blow open the doors of the Conservative Party and reveal the plot that went on. And oh boy, you know my obsession for buying books about the Conservative Party and the crazy ongoings behind them. And yes, I intend to buy the plot because I, for one, want to find out how much Nadine Dorries has completely lost the plot. And shocking of all, one of the fun things that's happened about this, because Nadine Dorries has said that there is this shadowy figure that she can't name. She can't name this for legal reasons. But this shadowy figure is referred to as Dr. No. And in reality, he controls the Conservative Parliament, and by proxy controls everything that goes on in number 10. In reality, he essentially controls everything. To which Michael Gove came out and said, Nadine Dorries is probably one of the UK's best fiction writers. That's a pretty good comeback, I will say, from Michael Gove. Like I say, hey, got to give credit where credit is due. But one of the other people that has been making a lot of hay of Nadine Dorries's book in this and these supposed revelations about this shadowy figure is, of course, David Icke. Yes, David Icke has even come out of the woodwork himself to say, ha! All these things that Nadine Dorries has been writing about, I've been writing about these for the past 30 years. Because in reality, this Dr. No is just part of the cult which controls the Conservative Party, and then there's another cult which controls the Labour Party, and they answer to a larger cult. Yeah, I wonder how long before we see the Nadine Dorries and David Icke interview, and I cannot lie, I want to see that happen. I want that footage. I want that interview. Give me the madness. Because, oh boy, that interview would just be like, wow, pure chef's kiss. But part of course, Nadine's release up to this is that this is being put out in number 10, not in number 10, in the Daily Mail. And yesterday, they ran this as their front page story. Instead of all the chaos that has been going on in the COVID inquiry, oh, guys, actually, as we talked about recently, we need to sort of bring up a dead rabbit, as it's called. And here you have Nadine Dorries literally providing a dead rabbit, or a proper dead rabbit story. I generally cannot wait to read this because it is going to be absolutely insane. So, before we do go diving in to find out just how much Nadine Dorries has truly lost the plot, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, well, buy me coffee. And of course, as always, thank you very much to all those people who do help and support the channel that way. There's, of course, the YouTube thank you button, again, down below. And of course, there is the Pony Club you can join as well. Remember, when you do join the Patreon or the Pony Club, you get access to a ton of other content that I've made specifically for those people who do subscribe to those things. So, as always, thank you very much to everyone who, again, like I say, likes, helps, and supports the channel. Helps out loads. So, let's get on to this. So, Otto English tweeted out these. This is the front page of the Daily Mail. The title of revealed by ex-cabinet minister Nadine Dorries in the most anticipated political book of the year. Yes, Nadine Dorries, most anticipated political book of the year. So, it goes on to say, shadowy Tory number 10 fixer who had pet rabbit butchered in a mafia-style warning to his ex-girlfriend? Let's find out. And trust me, Otto English is right. You will not read anything madder ever in this. So, central to the cabal, according to the book, is a man who Miss Dorries refers to only by the name of the James Bond villain, Dr. No. Miss Dorries writes, quote, he is paid by the central office and has a pass to number 10, and some say Rishi Sunak doesn't move without first seeking his advice. Well, to be honest, he must be giving some pretty awful advice, because I don't think Rishi Sunak has moved since he got into office. Some shadowy figure indeed. And yet people can spend years working in number 10 and never hear his name mentioned. So this is, again, all part of the conspiracy. There's a shadow government. There's some sort of shadowy cabal behind the scenes. No, our government just really is that incompetent. Because could you imagine a government being this incompetent when there is some sort of meant to be a shadowy cabal behind the scenes? You'd think maybe someone might have let on, or someone might have leaked this by accident by now, given their pure incompetence at this point. But no, conspiracy theorists would rather worry about a invisible shadow government than the actual government that we currently have. Anyway, Dr. No has been employed at the top of the Conservative Party since the 1990s. I like how he's been employed since the 1990s. So, what? He was in power up until what? 2017, then out of power because the Labour, like, say they lost power to Labour, and they came back in sort of 2010. Wow, a long time for his powerful machinations to be at work there. Anyway, he's been employed at the top of the Conservative Party since the 1990s with full access to Downing Street, and even has been working in the shadows of every administration, including those of David Cameron, Theresa May, Boris Johnson, and Rishi Sunak. I have to say this right now. This would be far, far, far more effective if Dorries was actually saying who this Dr. No is. But like I say, to quote Michael Gove, and I can't believe I'm quoting Michael Gove, but this is just how mad Nadine Dorries is that Michael Gove makes sense to quote. Nadine Dorries is one of the best fiction writers in the UK. Miss Dorries says that Dr. No was once on remand in prison for alleged arson when a girlfriend ended their relationship, and it is rumored that he had her little brother's pet rabbit chopped into 4 and then nailed to the front door of the family home to greet him when they got home from school in true mafia style. The Mail has spoken to the brother in question, who confirmed that, quote, something happened to his rabbit when he was a child, around the time that his sister split up with Dr. No, he said. I definitely had a rabbit, and I don't now. What? I'm sorry, but that to me does not seem like the most trustworthy source to back up Nadine Dorries's claim of this. Oh yeah, I definitely had a rabbit, and I don't now. Well, I definitely had a hamster at one point, and I don't now. Guess it must be the mysterious Dr. No. When asked if his parents had said anything about what had happened to the pet, he said, they don't want to talk about the rabbit. They've kept the same line, that I had a rabbit and then I didn't have a rabbit, which is normal with pets. That is some sheer sheer madness going on there with Nadine Dorries. Um, oh boy, I cannot wait to get my hands on this book, because if that is just one excerpt, what else is in this book? I really want to know. I really want to know what's in this book, because she's also put out a plot that there was a plot to poison Boris Johnson. So we'll see what happens with that probably next time we cover a Nadine Dorries story. But wow. Yeah, really, this is the maddest thing you will probably read ever today. And oh boy, I cannot wait for that book. And still, please, David Icke, Nadine Dorries, do an interview together, because oh my gosh, that would be amazing to see, to watch. Um, yeah, please do that. But as always, thank you very much, of course, for watching. And of course, we'll see you all next time. That's, of course, if Dr. No doesn't get your pet that you once had. So until then, we'll see you all very soon.